Dale Jarrett is the leader of the Pennsylvania 500, presented by America Online. We are at the 400-mile mark, and there's the distance between Jarrett, the leader, and second place, Jeff Burton. That is 0.788 seconds officially as they cross the stripe. Jeff Gordon, the third-place car, creeping into the picture. And there is fourth place Jeremy Mayfield also in that group as they charge into turn one. Bill Elliott was among the leaders a moment ago. He's slowing down. He's fallen back to 13th spot. Marty, what's wrong?
Well, just when it looked like his luck might turn around, Bill Elliott has lost fourth gear. He can only ride in third gear. That's the highest gear he has. They're going to leave him out as long as he can until the transmission fails, and they think he might be able to live for the rest of the race, however.
Transmission or engine. I mean, the temptation would be just to stand on it, but kaboom if he does.
He is in fifth position, was in fifth position. Now Bill Elliott, as I said a minute ago, is back to 13th. Let's talk about strategy to the finish from here. Dale Jarrett is the leader. We're inside the final 100 miles now. There's Todd Parrott, his crew chief. How about it, Mike Hogwood? Another splash of fuel needed to get to the checkers?
Well, let's ask Todd Parrott right now. He is communicating with his driver, Dale Jarrett, on the radio, calling out the lap times. What is your fuel strategy now? Do you have to come in, and when will you do it, and how much do you need?
Yeah, we got to stop probably with about 10 or 15 laps to go. The situation we got now, nobody can make it from right here. So we've had a good car all day long. This set of tires seems to be just a little bit freer than what we've had most of the day. So we'll make an adjustment on this next stop, and hopefully we can keep this thing up front.
Will it be a splash and go?
Depends on how many laps we stop the tires.
That's the worst.
That's for Buddy and them guys to try to figure out.
All right, we'll let them try to figure that out. Now here's to Marty Snyder.
Well, we have some bad news to report for Johnny Benson. We reported earlier that the alternator was going bad. It has now gone away. They're losing all power. He said, get the battery ready, because he thinks he's going to have to come in and get a new battery on Johnny Benson's car.
Caution is out. There is the reason. It has gone up in smoke for Bill Elliott. Lap 163, Ed Berrier and Joe Nemechek have also both just taken their cars into the garage. The mechanical attrition enormous today here at Pocono.
You know, he's got a little bit of a fire going underneath that car.
Well, a lot of times when you knock a hole in oil supply, it'll do that. But I will tell you, you guys hit it right on the head today when you said the motors last time. I mean, they just ripped up a bunch of motors, but this time it's getting ridiculous.
Seventh caution of the Pennsylvania 500. And now what this does, it takes the splash and dash out. Everybody will pit for fuel and tires here. There'll be 36 to go when they come back around to the start-finish line. The pit road's going to be closed here because the pace car hasn't picked up the field yet, so stops will come with 35 to go, and everybody can make it from there.
Yeah, there shouldn't be a problem. This should, in theory, at least be the last pit stop. On the other hand, we've seen so many caution flags here for blown engines and other things that we're perfectly liable to have a whole bunch more pit stops before this is done.
10th car to fall out of the race with an engine problem, Bill Elliott, as Dale Jarrett comes to the stripe and takes the caution flag. And now what this sets up, strategy calls on the crew chief's part. Does anybody get two tires? They don't need a full fuel load. What, everybody was just in at 149? So they don't need a full fuel load. They could take two tires, try to get some track position.
If I was any further back than 10th or 12th or along in there, I'd get all, I'd come in, get two tires, try to get track position, and hope that I could hold them off.
If anybody will try zero tires.
Robin Pemberton has to make the call.
Ooh.
Talked about the problem that they have experienced here at Pocono last month, where they took 4 tires in a final pit stop when about everybody else got 2. It cost them a lot of track position. Rusty said, I kind of stuck my nose into making that call from behind the wheel, and I need to just let Robin make the decision.
Have you ever noticed, though, they always have 2 people up there making the decision. They discuss the best way to do this, and most of the teams have 2 or 3 people that really talk back and forth up on top of the war wagons as to what they want to do.
Usually the crew chief and the team engineer are the 2 seated up there. So the decisions are being made right now. What are you thinking? What are we going to see?
I can't imagine what we're going to see, but other than I think we're going to see a lot of different scenarios unfold. I think we're going to see a bunch of people try just 2. We may see somebody try 4, but I don't think so. And I'll bet somebody tries 0.
We'll find out in just a moment. Dale Jarrett leads. Jeff Burton is second. Jeff Gordon third. Jeremy Mayfield fourth. Rusty Wallace is fifth. As we get set to come down pit road with 35 laps to go.
This is when you want the perfect stop.
Yep. Need all you can. And we'll keep an eye on who gets 2 and who gets 4 here as they get set to come off of turn number 3.
This could be for the race right here.
It'd have a lot to do with it, that's for sure. Still a lot of laps to go to get 2 tires as far as the tire wear is concerned, but we've seen here before, 2 tires, you're not giving up a whole lot. Here they come. Off turn number 3, onto the pit lane. Down to the speed limit. Look at the running order as they come in. Gordon first to his pit. You look at Jarrett, Jeff Burton, and Gordon. Let's see, Gordon was first to his stall, so we'll see what he does first. 2 tires for Gordon. Jarrett's going to get 4. 2 for Jeff Burton.
Rusty Wallace took just 2.
Like a lot of guys just got 2. In fact, Dale Jarrett is going to come out way back in line. Still haven't seen Jarrett come by. Still waiting for Dale Jarrett. There he is.
Wow, that's a lot of track to make up there. He's got a fast car, but he sure did give up a tremendous amount of track position.
Rusty Wallace is off of pit road in first. We'll get the running order reestablished for you. Find out where Dale Jarrett came out. Get down to the finish of the Pennsylvania 500 next. Back at Pocono Raceway, Rusty Wallace's team makes the 2-tire call, gets him out on the lead while we're under caution. We have the opportunity to talk to Rusty. Dick?
Rusty Wallace, Dick Bergman at TBS. Can you hear me?
I got you loud and clear.
Hey, how about that 2-tire stop? You sure that's going to be good enough? Jarrett took 4.
Well, I don't know. I took 4 last time and it bit me. 14 cars behind us got 2 right sides, so I think it's the right call.
How's the car running for you?
I think Rusty just got the word that we're going to go racing when they come a lap and a half from now. So we'll let Rusty get back to work as the crew communicating with him that they'll get the one to go signal when they come back to the start-finish line. Well, he was pretty pleased with the decision. We'll find out how it works out. Let's get some further reports on the pit stops. Marty Snyder.
How about Jeff Burton's pit stop? I asked crew chief Frank Stoddard why they only took 2 tires. He said track position is just a killer. We could not afford to give up track position. That was the only thing behind the decision. They were just a skosh tight. They took a ½ pound out of the right front tire. That should loosen them up. They think they're going to be good for the longer part of the run. Let's go to Mike Hogwood.
Now, Todd Parrott says everybody's scared. They're thinking about the race last month. He says that their old left side tires aren't going to be good enough for the 4 that Dale Jarrett has bolted on, even though he's in 14th. They're confident they can move to the front.
Mike Massaro.
Another team that two tires on were the Rainbow Warriors. Jeff Gordon and Robbie Loomis, along with Brian Weitzel, conferring on that call. And Robbie, why only 2?
Well, Brian and I talked about it a lot. You know, it's like he said earlier in the day, car ran real well with 2 tires. Track position is so important, we just felt we couldn't give it up right now.
We'll have to find out if the gamble will pay off.
Jeff Gordon in 3rd position as we get set for the restart. And just a final point on the 2-tire choice. Everybody stopped at lap 149 and everybody got 4. So from 149 to 165 was all they'd run on those left side tires. I don't think the 2-tire call was a bad one at all. We'll find out.
Well, you know, track position is so very important, and Rusty, like he said, but have you ever seen a bigger game face on somebody? When he put that lid down, we wasn't talking to him anymore.
He was ready to go. This is the same tire that they ran here in June, and 2 tires worked very well. In fact, that strategy won the race. It's the same tire that they're going to use at the Brickyard 400 in 2 weeks.
So Wallace leads, Jeff Burton is second, then it's Gordon, Mayfield, and Bobby Labonte. All these cars getting 2 tires in the pit stops. Matt Kenseth, Robert Presley up into 7th. Ward Burton, Jerry Nadeau, and Mike Skinner now to 10th. Then you've got Steve Park, Michael Waltrip, who we haven't talked about all day, up in the 12th position. Then Dale Jarrett, the first one to get 4 tires, back in 13th position. And the restart's going to come with 32 laps to go. Is it enough time?
This is about to get real good.
Yeah. A couple of others who've had some pretty good days that we haven't really talked about much. Rich Bickle has done a solid job subbing for Terry Labonte. He's in the 19th position. And there's Johnny Benson, who's had a great day that's going bad here in the final laps. Marty?
Well, indeed, Alan, the alternator finally did go on Johnny Benson's car. They've been having a top 5 run all day long, and they use that caution flag to change the battery, because once the alternator does go, it immediately starts draining on the battery. They changed the battery. They kept him on the lead lap. He is the last car on the lead lap, but nonetheless, he should be fine at the end of the race. He still has a very fast race car.
Benson back in 27th position, actually the next to last car on the lead lap. Kevin LePage, just as he had done the previous caution, stayed out for a couple of circuits, led a couple of laps, then ducked into the pits, and now he is in 28th position and the final one on the lead lap. So Tony Stewart going to be the first car 1 lap down. Today's pole sitter up to the inside of Rusty Wallace. Got the field as they were on the initial start of the race. Only one's the leader, one's back in 29th spot. And now with 32 laps to go, we're back at it.
And Rusty Wallace got a lightning bolt start there. He moved right on by Stewart.
Fortunes can change. Yesterday, so many people were saying Tony Stewart's the man to beat today, and he has just had a miserable, miserable day. All kinds of problems. The 20 car here at Pocono this afternoon.
Your second place car there, Jeff Burton, has had a great run all day long, and he's one of the quickest cars through the corner. He may be, if he could get out in the lead right now, he would be very, very tough to catch.
Here comes Gordon to the inside of Burton for second across the second corner. Burton shuts the door. Now Gordon has to play defense on Jeremy Mayfield.
It's going to be tough defense to play. Mayfield's running.
Look at Earnhardt. Look at Dale Earnhardt.
Yeah.
Remember, he's not on the lead lap. He's trying to get up there to Rusty Wallace and get back on the lead lap. But Earnhardt with the flat tire back at lap number 145 while running second, lost a lap. At that point, getting to pit road. Look at Presley now to the inside of Labonte and Mayfield.
Presley in 6th spot.
Having a great run.
I tell you, he is a rejuvenated race car driver, and all it really took was the addition of Ryan Pemberton as crew chief, and this guy, all of a sudden, after all these years, has learned how to drive.
Well, he's been a good driver all along. Back when he ran in Busch Grand National, he was a winner and a front runner all the time. I think now he has a combination to keep him up there.
Sure does.
Gordon's car not looking like it's liking the 2 tires on his machine. Lost a spot to Mayfield. That was 3rd. Here goes Presley by Gordon for 4th, and Bobby Labonte alongside for 5th. Well, he couldn't make the outside stick there.
And back in the middle part of that group, you see Wickland back in there. Jarrett's tucked in, drafting down the front straightaway, but he's not passing the car as quick as I thought he would.
Somebody in the middle of that group let out a big puff of smoke when they shifted gears coming down the front stretch. So keep an eye on that.
And some debris went flying as well.
Here's Dale Jarrett. Restarted 13th. He's up to 10th. 30 laps to go. And he has got a lot of traffic to work his way through. It's going to be a factor. Presley losing a spot to Gordon. His 4th position. Almost got the wall.
Man, wow. You don't get any closer than that without knocking the fender off.
Or worse. Well, now's the time to stand on the gas. Less than 30 laps to go in this event. It's showtime. Whatever you got, time to show it.
Mike Skinner on the move. With Dale Jarrett there, 9th and 10th place, trying to move up.
See Jarrett looking to the inside, outside. Down the straightaway, his tires don't make a difference. This is where Jarrett has a great advantage.
This is Presley off turn 2 just a minute ago.
Yow.
Just that close to disaster.
When you do that, your right leg, you're moving over closer to the steering column. That's how drastic that is. You're really run right up against the wall. Look at Benson moving up here.
That is the 8th place car, Nadeau, that is in trouble.
And Tony Furr this morning thought that this was the best car he's ever had here. Thought they had a real shot to win this race at Pocono, and they do in trouble.
Clear down. Clear down. Flat tire, guys. That's the last car right there. Clear. 3,900.
Bailed out, was coming to pit road.
He almost went down pit road and didn't.
Wait a minute, the whole right side of that car is flat there. He's been all the way up into the wall.
Here's another look off the final corner. Who's that? That's Earnhardt that's About to scrape the concrete there. This is Nadeau in turn 1.
Yeah, now he washes out and gets up in the loose stuff here. But that's not when he got into the wall. It's later on.
Actually, I think it was a little earlier than that, because I believe he might have felt a vibration or something. Well, we'll get an update from his pit in a moment. First, we watch Rusty Wallace, the leader, trying to hold that advantage over Jeff Burton. It is 1.016 seconds now, as Jeff Gordon tries to do away with the lap car of Dale Earnhardt. Here's Burton running that high line again down in turn 1. He's been up there all day. Yeah, and his car seems to work up there. Usually that means that the car is not handling, but for Burton, it's certainly not costing him any time whatsoever. He gets through that corner quite well.
He grabs the gear shift lever. The knob on that gear shift lever he just loves. There's only 2 of those in captivity. They changed that gear shift lever from car to car, so he's always got it with him. Even the Spare's got one of those.
A gear shift knob.
Hey.
Yes.
Well, that thing's all full of holes. They got it all drilled full of holes, and it's easy to grab hold of, and it's nice and light.
Okay. Here's your third place car. Jeremy Mayfield got a report that he may be showing a little bit of smoke from behind that machine. Can't pick it up there. And this is Ward Burton's car. Ward has fallen all the way back to 27th position. Marty, problems there, huh?
Well, yeah, Ward, after a terrific run all the way from the back to the front today, felt like he had a right front tire going down. They debated bringing him down pit road that time. Obviously, Ward decided to stay out. They will probably come in this time, or they may ride it out and see what happens, but they do have tires up on the wall for Ward Burton's pit crew.
Tough luck there for Ward. Started in 37th, up as far as the top 5. Now falling back to the end of the lead lap and maybe to pit road here in a minute or so. Dale Jarrett, 8th spot now by Mike Skinner. Matt Kenseth is in 7th as Jarrett tries to rally from the 4-tire stop around all of those who just got 2 a moment ago.
Yeah, but he's about 300-400 yards behind the leader right now, so even though he's back there, he needs to really pick it up because the leader's going down the back straightaway and he's still coming off turn 1.
Here's Kenseth working on Bobby Labonte just in front of him. 6th and 7th positions. Mike Hogwood has more on Dale Jarrett's car.
Dale Jarrett just told his crew chief Todd Parrott that this set of tires they just put on, and remember they put on 4, are not running as good as the last set that was on the car. Not good news for the 88.
Boy, how many times have we heard that with Dale Jarrett? It just seems to pepper his career every so often when he's got a terrific car. He fires 4 on it toward the end of a race, and things just don't work out for him. But he has been strong all day.
As the leaders come down the front stretch, they will overtake Ward Burton's car, who's just come onto the pit road for that stop. So Ward goes a lap down. Just 24 to go. There's Ward leaving pit lane. Marty?
Well, Ward thought it was a tire that was going down, but that appears not to be the case. They took off the right side tires. Everything was fine. It might be something loose in the right front brake caliper. They checked it, and they sent him back out on the racetrack.
So he'll be riding around carefully over the final laps of this one. Ward coming into the event 4th in the NASCAR Winston Cup Championship standings. He's going to finish well down in the running order after that green flag pit stop of a minute ago. Here's Dale Jarrett trying to get a spot from Bobby Labonte. Coming at you down towards turn number 3. Mike Skinner right there with him. Up to the inside of Bobby for 6th spot.
Wally Dallenbach takes it behind the wall and heads into the garage area, the latest retiree.
Another car with problems here at Pocono. He would be the 13th driver out of this event if he fails to finish. Back for the finish of the Pennsylvania 500 presented by America Online. After this final commercial break, Rusty Wallace is the leader. Rusty Wallace comes to the start-finish line to complete the 180th of 200 laps in the Pennsylvania 500 presented by America Online. 50 miles to go. in this one, and Jeremy Mayfield is closing fast.
You're exactly right. He's closed down some 20 car lengths in the past 5 laps, and he's right on the back bumper of Rusty Wallace as they head down the back straightaway. And Jeff Gordon's closing in now just a little bit on Burton there in third spot.
There you look at the top 4 with 20 laps to go in the race. Robin Pemberton, Rusty Wallace's crew chief, watching his driver try to hold off their team car for the win. Mike Hogwood is in their pit.
We're up on top of the pit box. Robin Pemberton, can he hold off Jeremy Mayfield?
Jeremy's been off a good car all day long. The track position is going to help us, but he's come from 2-3 seconds back to a couple car lengths, but we still got a shot.
That's a word from Robin Pemberton. They admit the 12 car awfully strong. Marty Snyder.
Well, let's talk to Peter Spencer, the crew chief for Jeremy Mayfield. He's been consistently the fastest car on the track. Looks like you can get around Rusty, but can you stay up front?
I think if Rusty works with us, we can at least finish probably 1 and 2.
Is that the goal right now?
That's what the goal is, yeah.
And obviously he'd rather finish 1 than 2, but the problem for Jeremy Mayfield, they've been excellent on the beginning part of a run, but they've fallen off late in the run. There's a lot of laps left, and that is their concern. There may be too many laps left for Jeremy Mayfield.
Right in Wallace's tire tracks, down to turn number 3.
Yeah, Jeremy's coming. He's getting ready to start to make a move on Rusty.
How about right here?
Yep.
Mayfield low, off the corner.
And this will be a drag race all the way down the front straightaway. They run side by side as they go down through there. Rusty looks to have a great car down the straightaway as well, but as they start in the corner, that outside hadn't been given up much.
So far, so good. Boy, they better not tangle with this stuff this late in the race, his teammates.
And while they're running side by side, third place Burton and fourth place Gordon will close in quickly on him while they're door to door. Still double wide.
This will probably play out as they start in tunnel turn. Rusty had to get out of it. That's not a very nice corner to run side by side through.
No, you want to let the guy on the bottom have it there. It's just too risky to stay upstairs in the tunnel turn. Rusty will have to cool his heels and see if he can make a run on Mayfield a few more laps.
And we talked about while they were running side by side, it would let third and fourth catch them. There you see Jeff Burton almost up to Wallace's back bumper.
And Gordon's right in there too.
17 to go. A time that must seem like forever if you're the driver and the team that are out in front. Especially when you get all that company.
Yeah, Mayfield's got to know that he's better at the beginning of a run than at the end of the run. And he's going to try and put as much distance between himself and the rest of those guys as he can. But Rusty's hanging right in there on his back bumper.
And Rusty's aware that Jeremy Mayfield's car is lightning fast until, as Marty said just a second ago, until the tires start to go away. And then Jeremy's car has fallen off all race long. So Rusty's looking pretty good right now, but so is Jeremy.
You can make that car that's fallen off on the longer run a whole lot better when you're out front than you can when you're trying to get around someone.
And a fellow named Dale Jarrett has moved into fifth spot.
Yeah, Jarrett is up and around Matt Kenseth. He's up and around Bobby Labonte. So Dale to fifth position, trying to pick his way back from 13th after he took 4 tires on the pit stop a little while ago. There's Jarrett. Brett Bodine has just made the turn into the garage. Let's update that Ward Burton, the diagnosis on his problem, Marty tells us from pit road, loose lug nuts from the last pit stop. That'll cause a vibration in the wheel. And Ward is now back well down in the field. He is in 29th position, 2 laps down to the race leader. Update on Jerry Nadeau was on pit road for a green flag stop a moment ago. Mike?
Well, Alan, it wasn't too long ago that we saw Jerry Nadeau get into the outside retaining wall, and here is the end result. You can see the tires they just took off the car where he scrubbed the concrete. All kinds of concrete dust down in the wheel well, and you can see that the tires completely scuffed all the way around their circumference. When they did make the stop, they pulled away the fender from the right side tires and made a 2-tire change, but you can see for obvious reasons they needed to do that. Guys?
So Nadeau, another driver with promising results earlier in the day that not going to get him at the finish. He is down in 28th position. Look at all the drivers out as we run our field summary by you. Engine failures, the big story of the day. Mark Martin, the first one out at lap 25. We've had now, if Brett Bodine's car is indeed an engine failure, it'll be 11 engines, a couple of transmissions, 1 rear end, and only 1 car. Only 1 one of all the cars that are behind the wall. 14 of them now out of this thing because of an accident.
We talk about engine failures here. Rusty Wallace engine, 9,500 RPM in his qualifying run. You really can't expect him to live long when you're running in 9,000, 9,200 RPM.
Good race for position here among some drivers we really haven't talked a lot about today. Rick Mast at the head of that group in 9th spot. Robert Presley and Steve Park, we've documented some a little while ago. And Jimmy Spencer in 12th position looking for more off turn 3.
Jimmy Spencer looked like he's on a half-mile dirt track as he slid off that corner there. He and Steve Park side by side as they go down the front stretch.
And Rich Bickle driving for Terry Labonte trying to get involved in this as well.
Yow.
3 deep into turn 1. Something's got to give. Steve's car obviously not liking just the 2 tires that it got on the pit stop. Where did it go?
No, and Rich Bickle fighting very hard there, trying to move up. As you said, they had a driver change, and they had to do a lot of work. Terry Labonte's about 5'11", and Rich Bickle 6'5". So when they took him out of there, they had to get Cushman's out of the car, and he fought his way back from the back of the field all the way up now.
He's last after the driver change, back on the first pit stop, and now he's worked his way up to 13th. So it's a pretty good run there.
Absolutely.
And back up front, Jeremy Mayfield still hanging on to his advantage over Rusty Wallace, Burton and Gordon right there.
And you saw a big blob of black stuff bounce across the racetrack. What that is the tires as they wear, they build up like a ball inside the tire wells there, and coming down the straightaways, they'll fall out and they'll bounce. It's nothing falling off the car. It's just rubber buildup that falls off the car and bounces across the racetrack.
You see 5th place Dale Jarrett hardly even in the frame there. On the high picture coming into the second corner, there's Jeff Gordon, back. There's Jarrett, 5.5 seconds behind in 5th. So with 12 laps to go, as they cross the stripe this coming time, he needs a caution.
Or these guys just to start racing 3 and 4 wide down the straightaways, and that's not going to happen right now because Jeremy Mayfield might have been playing possum because that car is hauling it now.
And Mayfield is just amazing here at Pocono, isn't he? I mean, if he can manage to win this thing today, it'll be 4 career wins, 3 at Pocono, as he slides up on the racetrack. Couldn't get out of the bottom of that lap.
I don't think that was a proven move, but look at Jeff Burton moving in there on Rusty Wallace now. There, nose to tail down the back straightaway.
It was just 5 weeks ago here at Pocono in June. Jeremy Mayfield was running second to Dale Earnhardt. White flag was up, final corner, final lap. And it's a racing classic by now. Mayfield up underneath Earnhardt's back bumper. Earnhardt gets wiggled, gets nudged, gets loose, and Mayfield goes around for the win. A classic bump and run off the final corner. Jeremy Mayfield getting his second Pocono victory. If he can win today, he will become the first driver since Tim Richmond in 1986 to sweep both races in a season at Pocono. Tim Richmond, a driver who had a terrific feel for this racetrack. He was spectacular here, and Mayfield seems to have the same. Of his 3 career victories, 2 of them have been here.
Yeah, and these guys that really run well here like to run right on the ragged edge, and Jeremy Mayfield does not mind letting that car slide a little bit.
Mayfield fell way back in traffic earlier in the race. He had just started to come down pit road for a stop when a caution flag came out. They took 2 tires, sent him back around, came back in, got the other 2. He was something like 32nd at the time, 27th, somewhere in there, and has picked his way methodically back to the front and is now in the lead of this thing. And when he comes off the corner now and gets to the start-finish line, he'll see the 10 to go signal from the starter's stand.
And Mayfield has just been told by his crew with 10 to go, stay focused. That's the only message. Stay focused.
Transmission failure, the reason Brett Bodine's car has been reported out of the race. Same for Wally Dallenbach. Ed Barrier's gone to the garage with a rear end failure. It was engine failure on Joe Nemechek and engine failure on Bill Elliott. Mixing it up for second spot, Jeff Burton after Rusty Wallace.
Wow, they almost touched down the back straightaway as they head for the tunnel turn. The outside usually gives way and does again.
Burton trying to make Wallace run in there hard, see if he can cut underneath him.
And that's exactly what he made happen, going across the short chute towards turn 3. Listen to that motor.
Screaming
through there. Rusty just drove her on in there on the high side. They're side by side coming off turn 3 down the front straightaway.
And the best possible thing that Jeremy Mayfield could see in his rearview mirror are these two racing for second, because he has gotten gone. Just like that little time running side by side.
Yeah, but they have got to go at it as well. I mean, Burton has got to try and get Rusty, and Rusty's got to try and hold him back. Just good fortune for Mayfield is what it is.
This is where his strong suit is. He comes off for turn 1 there with a great run. Burton does in 3rd place, but he didn't close in on Rusty quite like he did on the lap prior.
You know, I think I said, I said something wrong a minute ago. I talked about Tim Richmond being the last driver to sweep both races here. Bobby Labonte did it last year.
Yes, he did.
Okay. 1 for me in the error column.
You're allowed 1 a race.
E9 will score that one. While we get down to the final laps of this one, and Jeremy Mayfield looks like he's extending his advantage, let's talk about some other stories. There are the drivers who've swept here at Pocono in the track's history. Some pretty big names on that list as well that Mayfield's trying to join.
Before you drop back, Johnny Benson was in the very back of this race just not long ago. They changed the battery in that car, and he's all the way back up to 14.
Benson picking his way back up through traffic. There he is in the white car there, back of your frame. Just coming, that's him. So Benson up at the front, fell to the back, trying to claw his way back to the front again. The championship picture after today's race. Bobby Labonte is running in 7th. Dale Jarrett's running in 5th, so not much ground going to change hands between those two. Dale Earnhardt's going to be the big loser. 25th position, a lap down after the cut tire while running in 2nd, back at lap 145. And Mark Martin going to lose some more ground. Mark in 6th position in the championship. He was the first car out of the race, going to finish 43rd. Tony Stewart's had just a lousy day. He's in 26th position. And Stewart, the 5th place driver in points, going to lose some more ground. Ward Burton had his problems a little while ago as well. He's in 28th. So Jarrett and Labonte going to be the two that do the best as far as the title contenders today, and everybody else has had some rough luck at Pocono. There's Dale Earnhardt running in 2nd, 55 laps to go. The right front tire went down, and by the time he got it back around to pit road, it has beaten most of the fender off the right front corner of the car, and it hasn't been the same since. There's Stewart. Just been a bad day.
Oh, yeah.
That blur that went by with Dale Earnhardt Jr., Stewart now weaving back and forth. I don't know what's wrong with the car, but it's something he's trying to decide whether it has a flat tire or not, it looks like.
Tell you what, Rusty's closing back in on Jeremy. He's closing back in a little bit. After that side-by-side racing between Rusty and Jeff where Mayfield got away, Rusty's beginning to run him down. Remember, we documented from pit road earlier. Jeremy was good on the initial run on a set of tires. His handling got poorer the longer we went. Everybody came to pit road with 35 laps to go, and now we're getting down to the final 5, so we put 30 on him. Mayfield looks like he's beginning to slow up just a little bit. Marty, how about it?
Well, Jeremy right now fairly happy. His car's getting a little bit of a push. He's talking to a spotter, Marty Gaunt. Marty told him, run your race, and be patient. Take care of the tires, and they'll take care of you. Then Michael Kranifus, the car owner, came on the radio, said you have a little less than a second lead on Rusty. Don't worry about the tires. Their concern, though, is that Rusty laid back and saved his tires intentionally, and that he will be better late in the run. Let's go to Mike Hogwood.
Well, I asked Rusty Wallace's crew chief, Robin Pemberton, what do you have left? He looked at me and said, not a whole lot. It's all we can do right now to hold on to second place. Jeff Burton's pretty strong. To Mike Massar.
Jeff Burton incredibly strong, but I just sauntered over to crew chief Frank Stoddard, and I asked him a simple question. I asked him, what do you need? He said, I need the 2 to get out of the way and the 12th to slow down. I don't think either one of those are going to happen, guys.
Not willingly. That's for sure. Now, last lap by, Rusty Wallace and Jeff Burton each ran a faster lap than Jeremy Mayfield did.
Well, you know, they're hooked up together, and they should be running faster laps at this point. They go fast enough here. There is an aerodynamic situation. When you get 2 cars running together, nose to tail like that, they ought to be able to pick up some time. But they got to pick up time in a hurry. This thing is almost over.
And as you speak, they are closing back in on the leader. I'm sure Jeremy right now would love to see them start racing for second spot because they're nose to tail as they head down into turn 1.
4 to go. Mayfield didn't get off turn 3 as well last time as he has in previous. Up top goes Mayfield. Down low goes Wallace.
I'm telling you, this race is a long way from being over. Look at Burton.
Got the fender alongside.
Jeremy's going, please race, guys.
Mayfield's just been told, keep doing what you're doing. There's no pressure from behind. They're racing each other.
Yep, you can see they lost about 5 or 6 car lengths just by that little racing they did there when they got side by side down the back straightaway.
Just a very little bit of time Rusty had to pay attention to Jeff, and he lost all that ground. We better make it up in a hurry. Across the stripe, 3 laps to go. 197 in the books. Jeremy Mayfield trying to become only the second 3-race winner in the 2000 NASCAR Winston Cup season. He got one in California. He got one here at Pocono in June. He's trying to join Tony Stewart as the second driver to make it a triple in the NASCAR 2000 campaign.
Rusty Wallace has a faster car down the straightaway, but Jeremy Mayfield off turn 1 is awesome. They're closing in on him, though, as they go towards the tunnel turn.
Remember June, it was the last corner of the last lap when the race was decided. Complicating factor there, these two are teammates.
This is where Jeremy's so very, very good on these flat corners. Down in turn 1, I think Rusty's just as good.
Here comes Burton. Second spot.
Mayfield's spotter just erupted and screamed, here they go, when they got side by side. It was as if he figured that's all was necessary for his guy to win this race.
It might have been.
Yep.
Rusty fought him off, though. He's still holding on the second as Burton looks to the inside as they start down the back straightaway.
Burton still determined to get second spot from Rusty. This time he's got the inside line to the second corner.
Down under Rusty Wallace. Rusty taking a lot of racetrack there, but he knows that Burton's right there as they head down the short chute. He gets back in front of Burton.
And Mayfield loving it. Just loving it. He's gotten away. And now he's going to have just 1 lap left to try and secure the victory. Here comes Jeremy Mayfield. White flag is up. Final lap of the Pennsylvania 500. Mayfield tried to complete the Pocono sweep for 2,000. 2.5 miles to go.
Here comes Burton on the outside. He's not giving that long line up. He'll get a great run down through there. The race is for second right now.
Rusty to block. Burton to push. And they both closed on Mayfield. Look at this. They ate up Mayfield all over the back of him into the second corner.
Here comes
Mayfield's got a problem. Mayfield's got a flat tire. Here goes Wallace by. Now the race for the win between Wallace and Burton. Mayfield slows on the final lap.
Rusty Wallace gets a good clean entry into turn 3.
Rusty Wallace needing to get off the corner and beat Jeff Burton back to the finish line. Here they come, the final sprint down to the checkered flag. Burton tries to draft up inside. Wallace wins it. Rusty Wallace wins the Pennsylvania 500 when Jeremy Mayfield suffers a flat tire halfway through the final lap in the lead.
Dale Jarrett ended up 4th. Mayfield having that problem there.
Look at the right front corner of Mayfield's car. The tire went flat on the last lap leading.
That's why they call it racing and not winning. Looked like he had it in the bag. All of a sudden the car veered off on the tunnel turn over there.
Rusty Wallace goes to victory lane. He has won the Pennsylvania 500, looking like he was racing for second. Now he's got the win.
Rusty Wallace is Dick Bergman at TBS. Can you hear me?
Sir, got you loud and clear.
What a run. What a run. How did you know Mayfield's tire was going down?
Well, I didn't know it was going down. I didn't know nothing was going on until the last corner.
A great run. Congratulations. Drive around to victory lane.
Penske was 1-2, looking great. Real proud of both teams, and just unfortunate for Jeremy to lose that tire, but it happened for me just at the right time. Thanks a lot, everybody.
Tell Rusty he didn't finish second. Mayfield went back, but that's how much Rusty Wallace looks in the mirror after he goes by the leader.
Jeremy Mayfield's team obviously despondent. Let's go downstairs.
Heartbreak would be a better word. And Peter, did he say what happened?
Right front tire went down.
And did he say there was any indication it was going down?
No, just right front tire went down going into tunnel turn. Hey, at least our teammate won. That's all that matters.
All right, no indication that the tire was going down before that. Jeremy thought he might have had the race won, but obviously that's not the case.
Rusty Wallace gets his second win of the 2000 season in most unexpected fashion. Dramatic final moments here at Pocono. He was doing all he could to hold off Jeff Burton for second, going into the second corner on the final lap. Mayfield came off turn one, and Wallace and Burton closed on him in a hurry, so
right
he knew there was a problem.
He knew he had a problem. He was trying to hang on. Right there, the car just takes off up the hill. He knows the tire's flat now. He's just trying to pick up any position he can.
Let's go down to victory lane. Here's Ken Squire.
Now he is 8th on the all-time win list all by himself in Winston Cup racing, just about ready to clamber out. Rusty Wallace winning once again, the 51st victory. Puts him one up on Ned Jarrett and Junior Johnson. A great pit stop made a big difference at the end of this race, and what a whale of a finish.
It was a whale of a finish, no doubt about that. It was just Team Penske the last half. Jeremy's car was great. My car felt really good, and he had a little problem there at the end, and I was able to take advantage, and that's it. But we were bumper to bumper. Boy, Jeff Burton run me hard, too. It felt good, though, to finally get the 51st victory and get 2 this year, and now people can quit asking me, hey, Rusty, when are you going to get your next victory?
That victory, a lot of it came from what happened on pit road, no question about it.
My guys were great on pit road today. The strategy that Robin did was awesome to do 2 tires. We knew we got burned last time here at Pocono, and we knew we needed to do 2 that time. And what I underestimated, though, was how quick Jeremy's car was going to be. His car was really fast, and my hat's off to him because he had a great car, and real unfortunate to end. But you know what? That puts Jeremy at 2, me at 2, and Team Penske's doing pretty good.
It darn well is. And that finish with the 3 of you guys just beating each other, that was terrific.
Well, I'll tell you what, Jeff Burton, man, he was driving me hard and driving me clean, and on the bottom, on the top, and I'd block him off, and I'd pull back down, and then that Penske engine horsepower would take over the straightaways, and here we go again. You know, it's just, I'm like, man, I wish this thing had hurt him get over, about to wear me out.
Okay, congratulations, Rusty. All right, let's go to Mike Hogwood.
And we're with Jeff Burton right now. Jeff, congratulations on a great run. Almost got Rusty Wallace there on that last lap. Tell us about it.
Well, it was a close race. I got beside him several times. I just never could pull it off, but that was a good run for us. Rusty did a really good job of pinching me off and keeping me from having a good exit of the corner, and that's why I stayed behind him. But good hard racing. Sorry to see Jeremy have trouble there at the end, but those things happen. That's just the way racing goes.
Did you have something for Jeremy if you thought you could have gotten by Rusty?
Well, we were later in the run. We were the fastest car. I was too loose to start, so I knew that later in the run that would be better because we always get tighter here. And sure enough, it got better and better and better. I just wasn't quite tight enough to pull the pass off with Rusty. And again, it was a good race for the Exide Taurus. We struggled yesterday in happy hour, and Frank and PK talked me into doing some stuff last night. I told them it won't work. I'm telling you it won't work. Well, it worked. Shows you what I know.
It did work today. He comes home second. Mike Massaro.
Well, Jeff Gordon was strong all afternoon long until the closing laps. It seemed like you tailed off a little bit, Jeff. What happened?
Well, I tell you what, for as many problems as we had today, we still had a great day. Real proud of these guys in the pits, and Robbie and Brian. These guys just did an awesome job setting up the car, and it's nice to be back up front and battling for the lead and for a win. And unfortunately, there at the end, I lost 4th gear, and we were lucky just to finish. So come out of here with the 3rd place. They carry some momentum for the Brickyard. We're real excited about that.
Jeff Gordon, very pleased with his 3rd place finish here this afternoon.
So, Rusty Wallace gets his 2nd win of the 2000 season, his 4th here at Pocono. You look at the unofficial top 10 finishing order from today's Pennsylvania 500, presented by America Online. We'll have the full rundown for you when we come back to Pocono in just a moment. Stay with us.
Pennsylvania 500, presented by America Online on the Superstation. Brought to you by Team Monte Carlo. The cars more champions depend on. Chevy, we'll be there.
Rusty Wallace on his cool-down lap, getting congratulations and giving congratulations to the man he raced so hard for what looked like 2nd spot in the final laps, Jeff Burton. Turned out they were racing for the win, but who knew at the time? Is Burton offering his congratulations to Rusty Wallace after the checkered flag. I don't want to sound like Yogi Berra, but one thing we know for sure about NASCAR racing, it's never over until it's over.
No, it's not. And Jeremy Mayfield, unfortunately, had that tire go flat going across the tunnel turn. Had a long ways to go before he got back, and it really altered his spot. He ended up 10th, leading on the last lap and ending up 10th.
It is pretty incredible that you can go 500 miles, 200 laps around a racetrack as difficult as this one, and yet see a finish as dramatic and as close as that one. But that is what NASCAR has authored. That is why we have a full house here at Pocono this afternoon.
Stories we talked about 4 hours ago when we came on the air. A very tight field of competitive cars, an extremely competitive racetrack, and mechanical strain. We saw all of that today in the Pennsylvania 500, won by Rusty Wallace. Let's go to Mike Hogwood.
All right, we're with Dale Jarrett, who's getting ready to get a ride home here with Dale Earnhardt. Dale, what about that four-tire stop? I mean, and obviously it didn't work out for you.
Well, no, but that set of tires was pretty tight, so if the car would have been freed up like it had been, that would have probably been okay. But, it's a chance you take. You don't know what's going to be exactly right. We thought we had too many laps on the left side tires and as many laps as we had to go, a full fuel stop, that we were making the right call. And, some days you make the right call, and some days it works against you.
Still a top 5 day for Dale Jarrett, Marty Snyder.
And with a very disappointed Jeremy Mayfield. Now, a couple laps before that, you had radioed to the guy, said, I think the tires are going away, but did it give any indication that it might cut like that?
No, not really. I'm sure it happened like that before. We must run over something or something, because tire wear was perfect all day. Goodyear's got an awesome tire here, and it was one of those things, we just evidently run over something, and had a slow leak in it. When I went to tunnel turn, it went down. Just like we kept it out of the wall. But this Mobil 1 team, man, they give me a great car. Penske engines, man, had a great engine all day long, and that's all you can ask for. Just keep coming back. But we all know who had the best car here today. That's the main thing. And congratulations to the 2 cars. Russ did a great job, and if I couldn't win, glad to see him win. I sure would like to see it be a 1-2 finish for us.
Obviously a very difficult situation for you. You were worried about the car on the longer runs. Did you think you had the race won?
I thought we did. You always think you do, and we were sitting there kind of riding, trying to take care of it, and can't do anything about that. It's something the team didn't do, I didn't do. Just one of those things that just happens in racing, and seen it happen Ricky Rowe today and several others. So just unfortunate, but we'll be back. Keep that Mobil 1 forward here, and just luckily we still got a top 10 on it.
Somewhat ironic that you won it in Turn 3 in odd circumstances in the spring and lose it in Turn 3 odd circumstances this time.
Yeah, and I wish we could have rode it all the way to the end, because I know we had something for them, and just part of it. What do? You win some, you lose some, and got a long way to go yet in a lot of races. So you'll see his team run up front a lot and win a lot of races.
An impressive performance for Jeremy Mayfield today, but he comes up not winning.
In June, it was the final turn. Here in July, it was the next to last turn that decided 500 miles of racing at Pocono. It doesn't get better than this, friends. There's Rusty Wallace still celebrating, and we'll be back with more in a moment.
The Pennsylvania 500, presented by America Online on the Superstation. Brought to you by Circuit City, the official electronics and appliance store of NASCAR. By Citgo, you love racing, we love racing. By Wendy's Classic Hamburgers, it's hamburger bliss. And by America Online version 5.0, the easiest just got easier. Call 1-800-4ONLINE to sign up today.
The sweet thunder is now quiet, and the silence settles in once again over Pocono, Pennsylvania. In the hearts of these race fans today, they're still going some 200 miles an hour down into turn number 1. We've been here for all 27 of these races, these Pennsylvania 500s, and I don't think we've ever experienced one quite like this. And to be here on a day when Rusty Wallace takes another step up that history ladder of Winston Cup racing, breaking that 3-way tie with the great Junior Johnson and Ed Jarrett, this has been something special. His 51st victory, and you could tell in Victory Lane how much it meant to him. Well, we told you at the outset how demanding this facility was, how difficult it was to drive, and how challenging. And wasn't it proven to be true, time and time again, lap after lap, with all of this great competition? Thank you for joining us here on Turner Broadcasting. Look forward to having you with us in October when we hit the Charlotte Motor Speedway for that 500-mile race. So for Alan Bestwick, Dick Berggren, Buddy Baker, Mike Hogwood, Marty Snyder, Mike Massaro, and Jerry Glanville, I'm Ken Squire saying so long from Pocono, Pennsylvania. Later tonight at 6, it's Patrick Swayze and Jennifer Gray in Dirty Dancing. And coming up next, it's Family Matters on the Superstation. TBS again congratulates the winner of today's Pennsylvania 500, Rusty Wallace.
The proceeding has been a presentation of TBS Sports.